Are we live? Check my links. Hey guys. Live. All right. So I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes. I was kind of late putting this on today, so we'll see if anyone joins along live, but this will be available after today as well. It's a little crazy. Hope everyone is having an awesome Sunday. Let's see. All right, so while you guys are getting settled in, I'm going to make one more post about this class. Go ahead and get some water and find a place to practice. We're going to do more of a flow class today, so it'll be pretty different than the last class that we did together live stream. So let's see. Those of you that are in my retreat group, we should be pretty familiar with most of these postures now, so we'll have some fun flowing today. So go ahead and get yourself ready and situated, and I'm going to make one more post, and then we'll get started in about 5 minutes. Hey guys, come join me live in just a few minutes. The link is in the bio. We're going to do a flow class together, live stream. Come join me. So if anybody's in here, I made another yoga playlist. Oh, we've got a couple people. For anybody that's in here, I made another playlist. So if you'd like to join along, you're welcome to have your own music, but if you want to use the playlist that I made, it is on my Spotify channel, and it is called Livestream Yoga 2, number 2. So feel free to use that if you'd like. I'm going to have it kind of playing in my background. Give it maybe 2 more minutes. Sorry, this one was kind of last minute today. I'll give it a couple more minutes. If you guys want to leave a comment when you get in here, let me know you're here. Also, if you guys like these classes, feel free to leave a donation. I left a link below. The classes are free. I want to continue making these for free for people because I think that yoga should be available to everyone. That being said, it's not free for me to make these. So if you feel inclined and blessed by this, then feel free to make a donation, and I'll use those donations towards future classes and continue doing this if you enjoy it. So, all right. Well, let me see. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes, so we'll get started at 3:05. I'm sorry we're starting a little late, but I want to make sure everyone can get in. If you're already here and settled, feel free to leave a request for any posture you want to practice or learn. Let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and find your place on your mat, and we'll hold off on the playlist for just a moment. Sorry, this is my second live stream, so I'm still getting used to these. Okay. So go ahead and find your space on your mat. Hold off on your playlist for now. We're just going to come into comfortable seat, so you can just sit with the legs crossed, close your eyes, and just start to find your space right now. Start to find yourself in this space that maybe you're sharing with other people, or maybe it's just you and your mat. Feel yourself starting to settle into this moment with your body and with your mind. Letting go of anything else that's going on in your life right now. Let's just begin by taking a full deep breath in through the nose. So fill all the way up, deep breath in. And then just open your mouth and sigh it all out. Feeling that release, letting go. Good. So I want you to find a nice long spine here. So start to draw the belly in. Tailbone is slightly tucking under, so we're pressing those sits bones down into the earth. Crown of the head extends up nice and tall, really lengthening through the whole spine. And then shrug the shoulders up by the ears, and then exhale. Pull them down and back. We'll settle in for about 3 to 5 more breaths here. Really carving out these next few moments together, to practice together wherever you're at. I know sometimes it's kind of hard to let go of distractions when you're practicing at home, but set an intention right now just to be really present. Present on your mat. So even trying to resist looking at your screen too much. If you need to see a demo, of course, that's fine, but I want you to try to really be present in your body today. Be aware of what you're feeling. And being very cautious of what you're feeling as well. So since I'm not there to physically come and assist you, I just want you to notice if something doesn't feel good, you back off. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about my yoga practice personally, is just learning about my body and knowing where I should take it each day, which could be different from one day to the next. You learn and you grow from where you are. Okay, so from here, let's reach the arms all the way out and up. Reach them all the way up, palms touch overhead. Take your gaze up past the thumb, and then take a nice big breath out. Pull the hands down to your heart. Let's do that again. Full deep breath in. Palms touch overhead. Take your gaze right up past your thumbs, and then exhale, slowly draw the hands down to your heart. One more, just like that. Deep breath in, and exhale. Okay, slowly start to walk your hands forward, and we'll all come into an easy seated forward fold. So I want you to completely relax your head down here. The head will provide a little bit more weight to lengthen the spine even more, separating vertebra by vertebra. Let your head hang heavy. Try to keep your sits bones pressing down into the earth. I'm going to go ahead and start my playlist, so if you're playing along with me, go ahead and start yours as well. And just hold that stretch for a few more breaths. Seated forward fold. Opening up through the hips. Slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Good. From here, slowly start to walk your hands back in towards the body, coming back up to a seat. Sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms out and up. As you exhale, take your left hand to your right thigh, right hand behind, so do a twist. Good. Sitting up nice and tall, so barely any weight in that back palm, twisting from the spine, so still lifting up through the crown of the head, and then exhaling to twist a little bit deeper. Finishing off that twist with the cervical spine, taking the gaze all the way behind. Good. Inhale, come back around to center, reach the palms up, and exhale, other side. Right hand to left thigh, and the left hand comes behind. Slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. Every time you exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper, using the core strength here. Good. Inhale, come back around, gaze past the thumbs, and exhale, slowly draw the hands to heart center. Good. From here, roll over your shins, make your way to a child's pose. So the knees can be together or apart, whatever feels best for your body. If you are growing a little life inside your belly, go ahead and take your knees nice and wide, big toes touch. And then we'll just start to walk the hands forward, coming into child's pose. Resting the third eye to the mat. Take a couple of breaths here. Continuing to release, letting go, and settling in this space. Good. On your next inhalation, staying in center, and then exhale, start to walk your hands to the left. So the hips are going to slightly move to your right, and then really reaching with the fingertips here. You should feel a nice separation in that right shoulder. Stay nice and low with the body. Continuing those slow, deep breaths. Maybe see if you can walk the fingertips just a couple more inches away. Good. Inhale, slowly walk back to center, stay really low. And exhale over to the other side. So same thing, my hips slightly start to drop over to the left side, stretching nice and long, feeling that separation in the left shoulder. Pausing wherever it feels good and breathing into that space. Good. Inhale, walk the hands back to center and come all the way up to a seat. Take a moment just to rotate through the hands, getting any kinks out of the wrists. Good. Making your way to all fours. So shoulders are stacked right over the wrists, hips over the knees. Let's take a few cat and cows. Inhale to drop the belly, take the gaze up, hold the heart through the arms. And then exhale, round back, gaze to your belly. Take a few more of these at your own pace, flowing with your breath. Inhaling to open up. Exhaling to contract and pull everything back together. Good. Coming back to center, neutral alignment of the spine. From here, extend your right leg back. Pausing right here, I want you to check and make sure that your back toes are all pointed down towards your mat. So this is a good indicator of where your hips are at. Hips should be even. Extending long through the crown of the head, pressing through the ball of the foot. If you feel good here, stay right here. Option 2, extend your left arm forward. Left thumb points up toward the sky. Couple of breaths here. Continuing to zip up through the core to protect your low back. Good. So option 2 is going to be to stay right here. Option 3, bend your right knee, reach around and grab your ankle or foot, and then press into your hand. Find your heart opener. Maybe start to lift your heels up. One more breath. Exhale, release with control. And we'll set it back down. Take a little shift side to side, resetting the spine. And then coming back to center, neutral alignment of the spine again. Extend left leg back. Pressing through the ball of the foot again. The hips are even here, so you might just peek back at your toes. Make sure they're all pointed down. Slow, deep breaths. Good. If it feels good to stay here, just stay right here today. If you want to take it a little bit further, extend that right arm forward. Thumb reaches up towards the sky, and then see how long you can extend the body here. Good. Staying right here. If you'd like to take that third option, grab the ankle or foot and start to come into your heart opener. Good. One more breath in. Exhale, release with control, come back down. And we'll just take one more little shift side to side. Good, coming back to center, tuck your toes under, lift the knees up, squeeze the core in. So the knees are just a couple of inches off of the mat. And then slowly start to press your chest towards your thighs, opening up the shoulders. And from here, straightening through the legs, coming into your downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk through the legs, pedal out the feet, shift the hips side to side, anything that feels good to your body. Shake the heavy ass, no tension in the neck. Good, pausing here for 3 more breaths. I'm gonna come out of the posture just to make sure everything is working, but stay where you're at for just a few more breaths. Okay, we got some new people. Good, notice where your breath is. Make sure you're not holding the breath. Awesome. So from your downward facing dog, take your gaze to the top of the mat and slowly start to walk your feet up to meet your hands. On your inhalation, find a flat back. So the hands might be on your shins, maybe your thighs, depending on how tight your hamstrings feel today. Just listen to your body. Stand long through the front of the head. And then exhale, shifting your hips all the way forward, folding down. Just hanging heavy here, maybe gently rocking side to side if that feels good. Good. Come back to center. Inhale again, flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, folding over the legs. 1 more time. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Good. Take a nice bend in your knees. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Come all the way up to standing. Gaze past the thumbs. And exhale, slowly draw the palms to the heart center. Closing the eyes. Take a moment here to return to your breath. Return to your intention. Good. Let's begin moving through Surya Namaskar egg sun salutation. Inhale, reach the arms all the way out and up. And exhale, fold and forward. Inhale to your flat back. And exhale, let's just step the right foot back here. So coming into a nice lunge shape. Maybe kind of shifting forward and back, opening up through the hips if that feels nice. And take a couple more breaths here. Good. Step your left foot back to meet the right. High plank pose. Let's drop down to the knees for this first one. Drop the tops of the feet and slowly lower your chest all the way down. Inhale to baby cobra. So you should be able to lift your palms and stay in the same place. Just warming up the low back. Squeeze the elbows in. Exhale, lower down. Press up through the knees and lift the hips downward facing dog. Good. Gaze forward. Step the right foot in between the palms. And we'll do the same thing here. So just nice little shift forward and back. Starting to loosen everything up, wake everything up. If anybody's listening to my playlist, you knew I had to put some reggae on here. Reggae Sunday, one of my favorite classes. Good. Go ahead and step your left foot up to meet the right. Inhale to flat back and exhale, fold over the legs. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Big breath in. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale again, reach the arms out and up. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the right foot back again to your lunge shape. Pausing right here. Good. Drop the right knee down. You'll continue to open up your legs here, so wherever it feels good for you. And then come all the way up. Hands can rest on the thigh. If it feels good, maybe stretch the arms up. And maybe even take your gaze up. Try to relax your left toes here. So the toes naturally want to dig down into your mat. We don't want to create any more tension in the body. So try to relax. Open up your fingers. Maybe bring a smile to the face. Good. Plant the palms on the mat and step your left foot back to meet the right. Drop the knees down, slowly lower all the way down. Good. Inhale. This time we'll press into the palms. Keep hugging the elbows in and come just to the point where the belly button is still grounded. So about halfway. Then lower back down, press up through the knees, downward facing dog. Good. Step the right foot forward. And we'll pause right here in lunge position. Drop the left knee down. So same thing, the hands can just come up to that thigh if that feels good, if you need a little support. Or if it feels nice, you can stretch the arms up, relax the shoulders back down. Maybe take the gaze up a bit. Slow, deep breaths. Good. Plant the palms at the top of the mat. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, slowly draw the hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, this time let's just step all the way back, high plank pose. Pausing right here, zip up the core. I want you to take a look back and notice if your hips maybe are really high or if they're sinking down. Try to get the hips even in line with the body. So nice, strong core. I'm just going to take about 2 more breaths here. Good. So from here, option 1, drop to your knees and move through your vinyasa as we just did, modified. Option 2, keep the knees lifted. Bring your shoulders forward, even with the tips of the fingers. From here, lower halfway to chaturanga. Good. Inhale, take either variation of the back bend we just did, or maybe come into your full cobra. So we'll still have a little micro bend in the elbows. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Relax the shoulders down and back. Good. If it feels good to move into your upward facing dog, press into the tops of the feet. Lift the thighs. Squeeze the thighs. So we're lifting the kneecaps. And then from here, however you want to get there, maybe just press into the tops of the feet and roll over the feet, downward facing dog. Pausing here for 3 breaths. Good. Take your gaze forward and we'll step to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Big breath in. Exhale, slowly draw the hands to your heart. Pausing right here. Take a couple of breaths. Grab some water if you need to. I'm going to bring my music a little bit closer. Hopefully you guys can't hear it because YouTube will not post my video. Alright, so let's come back up to the top of the mat, starting in Tadasana Mountain Pose. Palms forward, relax the shoulders down and back, draw the belly in. Take a couple of breaths here. Good. From here, we're going to move into a standing back bend. So I want you to think about opening up through the heart, through the chest. So a lot of times in these back bend postures, I see people really just dumping into their low back. So a lot of people are born with naturally flexible backs, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a really bad thing. But we don't ever want to just dump into the low back. So I want you to think about really squeezing in at the core, which naturally kind of tucks the tailbone under a little bit. Think about lifting up and then up through the heart. So it's like someone has a string on your heart and we're lifting up here. So the action is up, 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 and then open up the heart. Good. Come back to center. Let's take the hands to the low back. So the hands are right here, elbows draw in, and we'll do the same thing, right? So lift up, 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 up. Imagine there's a string on your heart. Good, come back to center, and let's fold over the limbs. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, this time step to high plank or jump straight to chaturanga. So if you're choosing to jump, I want you to take a peek up at your screen for just a moment. We want to make sure that we always land with the elbows bent. So we land right in chaturanga. So you can go ahead and take a peek. Jump back, chaturanga. Good. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we do that to kind of protect the joints and protect the bones in the arms to prevent having all of that friction, all of that tension jolting right onto your body. So from here, go ahead and extend the right leg up, three-legged down dog. Good. If it feels good, drop down onto your left forearm. You're going to take a little bit of a twist, maybe bend that right knee. Good. Come back up. If you look down on your forearm, step your right foot forward. Drop the left heel down, slight angle with that back foot, and inhale to your warrior one pose. Left hip is drawing forward, reach the arms up, gaze up. And maybe find a little heart opener here as well. So sometimes it feels nice to connect the thumbs, open up through the heart space, drop the head back. Good, release the hands, step it back and flow through a vinyasa. Same thing, other side. Inhale, the left leg reaches high, three-legged down dog. If it feels nice, drop to your right forearm. And maybe start to bend the left knee, open up. As in a yoga class, I'm going to pause wherever it feels good for your body. No pressure, no judgment. Good, come back up and step your left foot forward. Drop the right heel down, inhale, come all the way up. Right hip is drawing forward, hips are square. Nice open heart. Good, exhale, plant the palms down, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. Good, so from here we're going to pause for 3 resting breaths. So option 1, you can stay in your downward facing dog, continue to build heat by drawing in at the core. Option 2, you're just going to come into a child's pose. And just kind of find a place where you can slow your breath down, slow your mind down. Good, start to make your way back, downward facing dog. And from here, take your gaze forward and make your way to the top of the mat. Inhaling to flat back and exhale forward. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Interlacing the hands behind the back. Inhale, lift up at the heart. Pull the hands down towards the mat. Nice stretch in the shoulders, gaze up. And then exhale, keep the hands interlaced as you fold over the legs, arms draw away from the body. Then release the hands, inhale to your flat back. And exhale, however you want to get there, chaturanga. Flowing through your vinyasa. Inhale, open up your heart. And exhale. Good. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged down dog. Bend the knees, stack your hips, open up. Good, so option 1 is to stay here. Option 2, you can flip your dog. So we start to pivot to the outside edge of this left foot. And then the right foot lands down off of your mat. Lift up the right arm and open up through your heart. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, maybe don't try this one without a teacher around. Good, make your way back around, right foot comes right in between the palms, drop your left heel down and inhale all the way up. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. Gaze over the front fingertips, nice deep bend in this right knee. Good, let's turn the palms up and inhale, straighten through your right leg as you connect the palms overhead. Exhale like you're moving through water. Slowly bend it back down to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Straighten the legs again, connect the palms overhead. From here, shift your hips to the back of your mat. So you might want to step your feet a little bit closer together. Hips shift back, start to reach forward, and then make your way into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So your hand can rest on your shin. Maybe some of you are up here. If you have a block, you can feel free to grab a block. If you want to go deeper, you'll connect your hand down to your mat, but just take it wherever it feels good for you today. Good. From here, you're going to swing this left arm around and take it almost to the middle of your legs. You're going to be at a little bit of an angle though. And then I want you to shift your weight into that left palm. Reach your right arm up. Good. Coming back to your Trikonasana, triangle pose. And then exhale, plant both palms, step it back and flow through your vinyasa. Good, same thing other side. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, start to open up. Option one, stay right here because it feels good for you. We're just working on opening up here. So wherever you find that, just pause there and breathe. If you'd like to move into your wildling pose or flipping your dog, start to rotate onto the knife edge of that right foot, and then open up through the heart. Good. Slowly with control, come back around the center, left foot steps in between the palms. Drop your right heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Open up, drawing the belly in. Nice deep bend in this left knee. Make sure your knee is stacked right over the ankle, so you should always be able to see your toes. Draw the knee towards that left pinky toe. Good, go ahead and turn your palms up. Inhale, straighten through the left leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, same thing, so moving through water. So everything is really tight. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Go ahead and come back. Straighten it up. And we'll step either the back foot up or the top foot back, whatever. And then moving into Trikonasana, so the hip shifts to the back of the mat. Reach forward. Reach, reach, reach. Extending through the spine. When you find your edge, take your Trikonasana triangle pose. And this side might feel completely different than the other side, so listen to your body. Because you're going to hear me say that a lot if you keep taking my classes. Good. Continuing to tuck your tailbone under and draw your belly in. Good. From here, swinging that right arm all the way around and forward, finding your nice 45-degree angle. Inhale, reach, left hand. Good. Coming right back, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, and exhale, drop both palms, step it back and flow through your vinyasa. Good. On your exhalation, find downward facing dog, child's pose, any resting posture. For some of you that are a little more advanced, that could even be an inversion for you. So if you want to take an inversion, go for it. If you want to grab water, take a couple of moments just to return to your breath, return to your intention. Whenever you feel ready, start to make your way back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh out. Good. So from here, we're going to take a few Shakti kicks. So if you're new to Shakti kicks, what we're basically doing is, it could be handstand prep if you're working on your handstand, or it could just be working on this, creating energy inside of the body. So as we kick up, we're going to start with the top variation, tucking everything in, squeezing Mula Bandha, so lifting the pelvic floor up. Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine. So we kick up onto the hands, squeeze everything in as tight as you can into a little ball, and then come back down. And we land with the legs bent, so it's a nice soft landing. So I'll show you a couple variations. If you are brand new to being upside down, brand new to being on your hands, maybe newer to yoga, I want you to stick with this first variation. So from your downward facing dog, what you're going to do is just bend the knees and take a little hop at the back of your mat. Just little hops. So maybe that feels good to you. If you want to try the second option, I guess moving a little bit further, downward facing dog, you're going to just take your gaze forward and hop a little bit higher. So maybe like halfway. So you're not quite giving your hips over your hands, but you know, you're kind of halfway there. And even just taking your gaze forward can be pretty scary sometimes for people. And just kind of a side note, where you take your gaze is kind of where you're taking your energy. So if you are looking forward, you can expect that you'll project yourself forward more than you will if you're gazing down at your feet. So just be prepared. And what you want to try to think about when you're kicking into these is pressing into your fingers as you're shifting forward, and then you kind of release them back off of that as you're shifting back. So press in and in, and what that does is it keeps you from just flying forward over your arms. So just take it really easy today. I am hesitant to teach stuff like this over a live stream just since I'm not there to offer guidance or assist, but I trust that you guys will listen to your body. So listen to your body. If anybody does feel like you might be ready to try to take these a little bit further, the one thing I will tell you is before you try to take all the way up, is to learn how to land. So, or to fall, I guess I should say. So if you feel like you're kicking up and maybe you found a little bit of air time, a little bit of a handstand, I want you, if you feel like you're falling back, I want you to kind of twist your body and cartwheel out. So, you know, a lot of times if you feel like you know how to fall out of it, it might not be as scary, but again, please only take this where you're confident taking it. Don't ever try something like this if you're like brand new to yoga or, you know, I've never been on your hands or anything like that. So wherever you're taking it, what we're doing is building strength in the shoulders, in the arms, and the core. I'm just kind of getting you ready for handstands if you'd like. Or if you don't want to do handstands, you're still energetically doing a lot of work in the body. So these are really awesome and one of my favorite ways to kind of introduce people to being on their hands. So I'm going to go ahead and show the third option. And again, please just only take this where you're confident taking it. So the third option, from downward facing dog, gaze forward. I'm going to shift forward and then back. I pick the heels up, bend the knees, gaze forward, kick in, and then land very softly. So as you can see, there's a little bit more hang time, but when I do it, it's very controlled. So I'm squeezing everything in, everything lifts in and up, and then you land softly. So wherever you're at, take about 5-ish more, however many you want, and then we'll take a vinyasa together, and we'll come down to some resting breaths. So whenever you're settling into your resting breaths, again, either child's pose or downward facing dog, try to just take a few breaths and let go of all of that we just did. Settle back into this space. Then slowly coming back up to a seat. And we'll make your way back to downward facing dog. From here, inhale the right leg high, bend the right knee. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, flip your dog. Inhale, open up, just one big breath here. Exhale, swing back around. Bring the right knee into the chest, hug everything up. Good. From here, extend your right leg underneath your left arm, press into the right palm, lift the left arm up. Good. Bring the left palm down. Pausing right here for a few breaths. This should feel like a really nice stretch in your IT down on your left leg. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Good. Go ahead and bring the right leg back into the chest. And then extend the right leg back. And set the right foot down. So we're going to do option 2 of our Shakti kicks. So the first one was our tuck variation, and there were 3 options in there. This next one, we're going to do the same thing with a pike shape. So same thing, if you're brand new, you're just going to stay with little hops at the back of your mat. If you've been doing those for a little bit or you're pretty comfortable, maybe trying the next step, same thing, the gaze comes forward. And we just going to take it about halfway, so don't throw everything into it. It's about halfway, nice soft landings. And then of course, option 3, if you're ready to get a little bit more hang time, gaze is forward. You shift forward, shift your weight forward, nice little hops, squeeze everything in and up. So take about 5 of those, take your vinyasa to flush it out, and then we'll all take a few resting breaths in child's pose or down dog. Good. Starting to come out of your resting posture, making your way to tabletop pose. Let's just take a couple of cat and cows here. I love this one. If you guys enjoy having these playlists along with your class, leave a comment and let me know. I don't know if anybody's actually listening to these. I think a couple people did last time, but I'm just curious. All right, so we're going to go through one more round of Shakti kicks. Make sure you've got enough space on both sides that you're not going to hit a wall. I'm going to actually move my mat out just a little bit. So this is the straddle variation. So same exact thing, but we're going to do straddles. So I'll show you option 1 since this one's a little tricky. So downward facing dog, same thing. So just a little hop up, open, and come down. Open, come down. Option 2, gaze is forward. Give it about half of your effort. That one might have been a little much, but about half. And then option 3 is to kick all the way up. So same thing, and I'm going to say this a lot because I'm not there to physically help you, but please only take it where you're confident. And just have fun with it, and go easy on yourself. If you don't have these today, if you're not even close, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Handstands definitely don't mean that you're a better yogi than somebody else. It's all just about growing internally and externally in your own body, in your own skin, and learning about yourself in the process. That's the whole point of all of this. So it doesn't matter if you never get a handstand. Totally cool, but these are some of my favorite things to practice. I thought I would share with you guys. So go ahead and take your 5 to 7, 10, however many you want, and then take your vinyasa. This will be the last vinyasa of our practice together. And then we'll settle back in the child's pose for a few resting breaths. You take about 5 resting breaths, and whenever you're ready, grab some water if you need to. You start to settle back in, let go of everything that we just did together. I'm gonna check my video. That would really stink if we did all of this and it wasn't recording. That would really. Go ahead and make your way up to a seat whenever you're ready. And we'll extend the legs forward, setting up for a seated forward fold. So flexing through the feet, toes draw towards the face. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, reaching forward as you fold over the legs. And inhale, make your way back up to a seat. From here, keep the left leg extended long, bend your right knee in. Bring the foot in nice and close to your hips, sitting up nice and tall. So option one, you can reach your left arm around this right leg. Right hand comes behind you. Option two, reach the left arm up. Think about lifting up with the spine, nice long spine, and then find a twist here so the arm connects to the top of the thigh. Slow, deep breaths. And I want to keep barely any weight in that back palm, twisting from the core. Good, slowly make your way out of it. Take a little counter twist on the other side. Good, extend the right leg long, shake it out. And we'll switch sides. So bending the left knee, bring the foot in nice and close to the glutes. Same thing, sit up nice and tall. Option one is to take this right arm around the thigh. Option two, you're going to reach the right arm up, lengthen up, and then connect your arm to the top of your thigh. Good. Slowly come back around, extend both legs forward, and shake it out. Take a couple of breaths here. Really starting to just slow everything down. Good. From here, let's bring the feet together, open the knees up. Good. Pressing the knees down. If that feels good, maybe open the feet like a book. Closing the eyes, take a few breaths wherever you're at. And if it feels good, you might start to gently fold forward. So think about lifting up through the spine, up through the crown of the head, folding with a nice flat back. And I want you to go as far as you can with that flat back. So finding your edge. And then whenever you found your edge, go ahead and just round the spine, drop the head down. And inhale, slowly come back up. Bring the knees to touch. And then we'll bring the hands behind you. Fingers point down towards the toes. And just let the legs fall side to side. Coming back to center. We'll come into reverse tabletop. So again, fingers point down towards the feet. Gaze up, lift the hips, and drop the head back. Good. Slowly lower it back down. Do the same thing, just gently rocking the legs side to side. Good. Option 1, you'll take that again. Option 2, extend the legs long, coming into reverse plank pose. So this time we're working on bringing the feet down flat on the mat. They might never get there, so don't worry about it if they're not there today. Take either option, and we'll take about 3 breaths in the posture. Lift the hips, drop the head back. Good. Slowly lower it back down. Bend the knees if they're not already. Rock the legs side to side. Good. From here, go ahead and come all the way down to your back. Bring your knees into your chest, give the legs a squeeze. And if it feels nice, maybe gently rocking the knees side to side or making little circles, massaging the sacrum. Take a few in the opposite direction. Good. From here, extend the legs long, reach the fingertips overhead, stretching long with the body. Good. Let's bring the knees into the chest. Open the arms to a big T. Let the legs fall to your left side. Turn your head to the right palm. Option 1 is to stay here. If you'd like a little more, grab the big toes and straighten through the legs. Good. Let's go ahead and come through center. Pausing for just a moment here. And then as you exhale, let the legs just fall over to the right side as you turn your head towards the left palm. Same thing, if you'd like a little extra stretch, you can grab the big toes or anywhere on the feet and extend the legs out. And slowly draw the knees back in, come back to center. More gentle little shift side to side. Let's take our hands on top of the knees and just make some nice big circles. Getting into the hips a little bit more. A couple in the opposite direction. Taking any final posture, stretch, twist, anything else that your body needs from your practice. And then whenever your practice feels complete, start to make your way into Shavasana, final resting pose. Maybe letting the legs and the arms open up a little wider than normal. Feeling the full body starting to release and let go. Starting to let go of any control over the mind, of the body, of the breath. Allow everything to soften here. Settling into those soft, gentle rhythms of the breath. In your mind's eye, finding that space in between the brow, the third eye space, and just focusing on that space. Allowing everything else to drift away. All of that hard work that we just did, cultivating and integrating inside of the body. We'll take a few moments here together in silence and in stillness. I've left a few extra moments at the end of this playlist for you to have a little extended Shavasana on your own. So please feel free to stay right where you are, continuing to soak up and absorb all of this good energy that you're feeling, all of the peace that comes from this practice. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to make your way out of the pose. I'm going to encourage you guys to stay here as long as you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and turn the video off. I'm sure that this is a really boring video once you get to this point. So I want to thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me. I don't know why I'm scooting. Thank you for being here and sharing your energy and your practice. Please share this video if you know anybody that might be able to use this practice today. I'll have it available for a while. And again, if you feel blessed by this and you'd like to, there's a link below. You can feel free to make a donation and to help me to be able to create these in the future. So thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I hope we can practice together again soon. Mwah.